to the channel. Today we are working on the 2003 Ford F-150. So in the previous episode on this build, we did get the truck painted and it's about 90% complete, almost ready to hit the road. But there's still a few miscellaneous parts we need to get, like this passenger side step, which I'm gonna stick with the OEM style because I found the perfect truck with all the parts we need from LKQ Pull Apart. But it is kind of sprinkling this morning. We're gonna wait for that to die down, possibly even go tomorrow. As of right now, we're gonna go ahead and tune the truck up. So it did sit for over 2 years and doesn't seem like it's running 100%. We're gonna go ahead and inspect all the coil packs and install some new Motorcraft Platinum plugs in it. Let's get her done. We got the new plugs installed, not much to it, just some weird hand positioning on cylinder 1 and cylinder 4, but we got it done. It does help to go ahead and pull the injector harness and get it out of your way. It gives you a little bit more room that way. Here are the old plugs, they're shot. We did also have a bad coil pack on cylinder 3. We got the new plugs gapped at 0.054, took the truck out for a spin, gave it some fresh fuel, put some seafoam in it, and the truck runs a whole lot better now. Other than this annoying exhaust leak on the manifold, which we are gonna take care of. But as you can see, the bolts are rusted. I did go ahead and soak them with some PB Blaster, gave this first one a rip, and it snapped right in half. So this is gonna take longer than it should. So I broke another bolt. That baby just couldn't handle this torque, I guess. Or maybe Ford should have used stronger, bigger bolts on something that takes that much heat and stress over time. But I don't know. They're still using plastic covers on their lug nuts. I'm gonna drop the truck off at a muffler shop. They have a lot more experience dealing with this kind of stuff, and maybe they could just get those bolts to back out, because it'd be really hard to drill them out, and I don't really want to have to pull the motor if I don't have to. As far as the side step goes, I did miss out on it. LKQ ended up scrapping the truck, so we'll circle back to another one, and if I don't, I'll just order some aftermarket ones. The blower motor did go out on the Ford. It's pretty easy to replace. You just pull that carpet back, and there's like 3 or 4 screws holding that on. I got these off of Amazon. Then I also threw in a new resistor because the fan speed would only work on high. So now that we got all that going again, hopefully that's the last thing that breaks down on this truck, because it just seems like it's one thing after another. But I guess that's what happens when it sits so long. Since the video didn't really go as planned on the Ford, I'm just gonna do an update on some of the other builds, starting off with the GMC. So this is my brother's truck, and I didn't really make like a final video on this because he was working his own schedule trying to get it done, and I just let him have at it. But stay tuned, I do have a very similar project coming up. Instagram did see it first, so follow me on there for sneak peeks. But yeah, this truck's pretty much 95% complete. We do have to repaint this fender. I think I painted it once and there was like moisture in the lines, so it didn't really work out. And then he tried slicking it in and he took another L, but that's not a big deal. We'll get that redone one day. So here's a little update on the Suzuki DRZ we bought from Copart. Some of you have asked about it, but I just never made a final video on it. But yeah, this bike looked like a parts only when we got it. The suspension was all busted up and hanging, but with some TLC and a few new parts like the triple clamp connectors, a new speedo, and we also threw a new plastic kit and some graphics. The bike turned out great. My brother did also throw some off-road tires on it, and he's been cruising it. But yeah, drop a like if you want to see more dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides on the channel. We also got the Mustang 100% complete, including paperwork wise. So I'm probably going to be selling this car. If you are interested, email DannyTVauto@gmail.com. Moving on to the Jeep, man, that thing is just a chiller. I'm always throwing extra mods on it here and there. I might redo the interior, go with like some black leather and throw some red diamond stitched in it. And I want to throw navigation in it, but you know, that's not really a priority. That's just me being a little extra. But moving on to the BMW, this is my brother's 135, and he doesn't really have the motivation to finish it. It's been sitting here for such a long time. He can't really get it to pass emissions because he did go catless on the exhaust. So I'm gonna find out what's going on with the car. I know he was replacing the spark plugs because it was misfiring, and he must have broke something because that's when he gave up on it after that. It's also got a leaking valve cover, which is pretty common on these cars. So hopefully we could take care of all these issues. Summertime's right around the corner, and I could use this convertible in my fleet. It's a very fun car to drive, drop top, and it sounds amazing with the exhaust setup he's got, and it's actually pretty fast. We got the 6-piston Brembos, and it's just been sitting there, so I'm probably gonna buy it off of him, maybe even throw a tune on it. Let me know if you want to see it on the channel. So Big Barney's just cooling. I'm gonna do a price reveal on this truck, maybe when the electric side steps come in. The ones that I really want are not available, so I'm just gonna have to wait. They are the rolling big power extended version, and they drop like 14 inches, whereas the amps and the other ones I looked at drop 12. So I think it's gonna be a little bit easier to get in and out of the truck with the lower drop. So drop any suggestions you have on what else we should do to the Ram down in the comments. I do want to throw some rock lights on it and get the chassis lit up, but that's going to be when we get some free time. I did also get the Lexus done. This was just a project we did off camera. It was wrecked in the quarter panel and we had to replace both doors. But if you do want to see more rebuild videos on the channel, be sure to drop a like on this video. It really hypes me up. Right now, we're gonna go work on my mom's car. There's some weird noise coming from the suspension, so let's go check it out. All right, boys, so now we are back on the BMW. This car really never gives you a break. If you are new on the channel, we bought this clean title 2008 BMW X5 with about 65,000 miles. It's clocking in at about 75 now. We haven't had any major issues with the car other than a leaky valve cover, which I have a video on that, and a Christmas tree that stays lit up year round. That's pretty cool, right? But we started getting some funky noises coming from the suspension, so I'm pretty sure it's the strut. We got the replacement right over here. So you have a trim panel that pops off, your cabin filter, and then it's pretty cool how this right here separates from the driver bullcrap, so you don't have to mess with all that. Let's go ahead and take that off and find this bolt. All right, so I got the strut and the spring out, and I found out what the problem was. It is the strut mount. That thing is completely gone. We did get a new one from O'Reilly's. It was a special order item, so it took a day or so. But anyways, let's go ahead and get all this back together. So that's gonna be a wrap for today. We got the BMW back on the road, and now it's nice and smooth over bumps and dips now. But I am gonna take the car to a BMW dealership because there is an open recall on the airbags. So I'll keep you guys in the loop on what they say about that. I'm sorry guys, there wasn't that much work action in this video, but stay tuned for the next episode. We got a new build coming in. So be sure to follow us on Instagram at DannyTV and subscribe to the channel and turn on your post notifications for more awesome builds. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one.